right, hi, welcome. I'm looking darker than anybody else on set, so proudly. Good morning and welcome to CBC this morning. And yeah, we just had Chris and Ralph actually talk about sport and everything else on the set. And I hope you football fans are actually having a great time. But right now, I have a very, very special guest. And because of that, we will be showing you a few clips as well as we discuss today. There'll be a few clips running because this person runs a very, very important organization and it's very special. I call it special because it's something that we all need to do or actually be a part of. And today I have somebody special to talk about it. Her name is Leela Singaram Champ, or Champ if you can't spell it right or pronounce it, but Champ. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. Well, now let's talk about the Other Side Foundation. What is it all about?
Well, first the name.
Mm-hmm.
There's always another side to life, right?
Yeah.
And that's how that name came about, the Other Side Foundation. There's my side, there's your side. So that's how the Other Side Foundation came about.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also because when I was sitting on the bare, cold floor in Buseko,
Mm-hmm.
trying to just show kids how to draw and, do simple things, I found that these kids were actually looking through pieces of planks. I could see these 3 pairs of eyes that was looking at me and saying, wow, the other side must be great. And I was thinking, wow, from the other side, I've got so much to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So that word, the other side, played quite a bit. So that's how the name came about,
Wow.
the Other Side Foundation. Today, the Other Side Foundation has grown from 15 children to 500 children.
Mm-hmm.
We have actually bought land and we've built in a George compound
Mm-hmm.
where we saw the need for these children from impoverished families who need education.
Yeah.
And what's special about our school is we are a values-based school, which means all our entire curriculum is based on a values-based education. Now, what is this values-based education? It's basically the 5 values that all of us have inherent in us.
What are these 5 values?
Take a guess.
What? Respect, love?
Well, these are the sub-values.
Uh-huh.
The main values are truth,
Mm-hmm.
right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence.
Okay,
And
so
of
I
course
got
we
the
have
love
all.
part right.
Yeah. That's one of the main values.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Then you have what we call the sub-values.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually flew in a professional to impart this values-based education and how it could be used in your day-to-day curriculum. And as Theodore Roosevelt said, to educate a man in the mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society.
Wow. Okay, that is a very strong one. But anyway, let's talk about the rest of the organization. How old is the organization? And also, maybe you can just answer that first before I
Sure.
get to the next one.
Okay, my husband and I first came to Zambia as a volunteer ourselves for an NGO that needed someone to set up a care center for children with AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, whether you say it's by chance, we stumbled, this started, of course, with no intention of how it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 2006. Yeah. But in 2007 is when we actually registered the Other Side Foundation here in Zambia.
So it's over 10 years old.
Well, it's about, close to 12?
12 years,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Wow. What inspired you, though? Why did you start this? I mean, you could have done anything else. You seem like a person who loves to travel, who loves to do other things, great things. But why start the Other Side Foundation? Why get into such an event?
Well, both my husband and I were in corporate, and I always said that on weekends I used to go out and volunteer and do things. And I said that one day when I do stop, actively working, I would want to give back. And I realized that if it's reaching into your pockets, there's a limitation. But reaching into your skills and your time, your energy is limitless. And I said I'd want to give back that way. because I've been blessed in so many ways ever since childhood. And to answer your question, what inspired me? Two main factors. One is my parents. My parents were very generous people, and my father actually won an award from the state of Singapore for public service. So that shows how much he gave.
Yes.
So you could say maybe it's in the genes.
Congratulations there.
No, that was, oh God, I was still a child then. And the other is, of course, my guru, Satya Sai Baba, who said that hands that help are holier than lips that pray. Yes. So
Wait, say that again.
hands that help are holier than lips that pray.
Okay. I hope the people out there are understanding that statement, because it carries a, like, if you don't mind.
Yeah, because you see, we all go to church, temple, mosque, whatever, you know, and we think that union with God is. I don't want to get into that anyway, but we think that by giving to our churches, our temples, our mosques, and just reciting the scriptures and praying is we've done our part, and you know,
That's it.
that's it. And then when we walk out of these holy premises, we forget what we have learned, and we don't put any of that into practice. And does that make us a better person?
No.
No. And then of course we've also lost the essence of why we are here. And as Gandhi said, you can find yourself by losing yourself in the service of others.
Okay. Anyway, let's get back to our issue.
So sorry,
again.
so
Yeah,
these
that's
are the two
okay.
people, you know, my parents and my guru inspired me
Wow.
to what I do today. Yeah.
And you love what you do today.
I'm so passionate about what I do, and I'm somebody who perseveres in anything that I do, and that's why I haven't given up, because you can't imagine the challenges that we have sitting in Singapore, thousands of miles away, and running something remotely in Zambia. I've got a wonderful, efficient Zambian teaching staff. I'm in contact with them every day on WhatsApp. And I've been told by some local NGOs that we're actually a great success story, because we're sitting thousands of miles away, and we are having this facility for the marginalized community.
All right. So quickly, help us understand how. Tell us about the children you've been helping. You've been active for 12 years. And definitely, I'm sure you've faced certain challenges, and you still are facing quite some challenges. But the children that you help, you know, what changes have you seen ever since you've had them in your care? And also, how do other people benefit? Recently, yesterday, you were also donating a few mattresses to some families. How does that affect you, and how do you gain all these fundings for that?
Okay, that's many questions.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can answer
We can
them
take it
all.
one at a time.
First, it's just not the children from that area that we are trying to reach out to. We also try and reach out to the single mothers and the grandmothers, because the children are our priority, of course. And how we actually recruit the children, it's a completely free school that we give free education, free food, and free medical care. And our first priority are what we call double orphans, who've lost both their parents, and then followed by single orphans, and then vulnerable children, which means any parent, we ask proof with a death certificate to make sure that nobody is just, piggybacking on our generosity. And vulnerable family would be any family that earns less than maybe 200 kwacha a month, which you would find many families in George are going through that phase. And what was the other question? The other question was, yes, so as for the children, this part is taken care of. And we found that when I actually go on my walks into the homes, I found that families had hardly anything to eat. because very often our orphans are taken care of by grandmothers who have no source of income. They just live on church rations and what the school provides. Very, very often, I would say 90% of the time, most of our children's only meal of the day is what they get at the school, which is 2 slices of bread and a porridge.
Yeah, I think we also have a small clip of children being fed out there. I hope you can show it, Carlos, or is it Bakili who's in transmission, so we can actually see what is going on at the can I call it an orphanage,
No,
or
it's
just
not
a
an
foundation?
orphanage.
It
Yes.
is the foundation. Please do not call it an orphanage. At the school, it is a foundation and a school. And you've also generated a staff that is working together so brilliantly. They work with a smile on their face. There are other things that you've added to it. For example, the whole quiet time, a meditative moment. Tell us about that. How effective has that been for the children?
Oh, super effective for the children as well as the adults. Now, every morning before we start anything at all, including the teachers and the staff, they do what we call silent sitting. You can call it mindfulness. You can call meditation, which is a big word, or contemplation. Now, this is actually to leave behind everything that they've come from, may it be the staff or the kids. They come from, especially the children, they come from very turbulent backgrounds. And there's all kinds of turbulence, anything from abuse to, emotional imbalance, so many things that happen at home. So when they come to school initially, for the first few years, we found that they're very unsettled. And of course, they're also very hungry, plus they're very unsettled in their minds. But ever since we introduced EHV, Education in Human Values, the teachers to start the day with silent sitting, that really calmed them down. And you heard some of what they say during the silent sitting, where they tell you to relax. Then you even saw some pupils falling asleep.
Yes.
It just shows how relaxed they get. And then he tells you about how this light that goes in your body helps you, helps your hands to do only good, and expands your heart to only love. So the children have become, in fact, I don't see any violence in school anymore. No vulgarities. There's so much of, we don't see, children telling lies. And you saw some of the children sharing with you how they have actually brought this back to their families.
Indeed, yes.
To their siblings and to the community that they live in. And they've taught them about respect and truth and love, which means it's an outreach program that doesn't stop just at school. And that is our main aim. Likewise, with the staff, there was a lot of, backbiting, not very settled.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not get too
Yeah,
much
so
too
what I'm
deep
saying
into the
is
detail.
just that silent sitting has benefited them. They're so cooperative. They see the sense in what they're doing, how they're helping these children. And mind you, most of our staff are also very privileged to be with the Other Side Foundation because they all came with their O levels, but now each of them have been equipped with loans to study, to at least have a teaching diploma. We had one teacher who had actually passed on. She was working on a degree.
Yes.
And, we are equipping them with the best and exposing them to more than they would maybe if they were in another community school. To give them the best. Yeah.
Wow. My director's saying we're a little behind time, but in a few quick words,
Sure.
what kind of advice would you give to the public out there concerning charity work or concerning this kind of work you're doing where you give, or the other people have everything, but maybe just in a few words? What would you
I'm
say
a
to
great
them?
fan of quotes, so shall I start with a quote?
Please do.
It's Winston Churchill's quote. He says, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." So to the public, and maybe to the Zambians, I would say, is there's so much going on out there, and maybe they should take more time to reach out to the less privileged. And if I can travel practically close to 20 hours to get here and do what we are doing, and for the grandmothers who have no source of income, who if they can look after 7 orphans, and very often some of the orphans are not even their own grandchildren. They just find kids wandering in the street and they pick them up and they bring them to our school. Now, if they can do it, all their brothers and sisters, Zambian brothers and sisters can do it too. They just have to give a little bit of their time or their skills, and we're constantly looking for volunteers to come and read to our children, do the mentoring program, which I believe you are part of.
I had a privilege of, yes.
Yes. Yes, and of course, there's another program that we have which is called Sharing in Celebration. That means, just to give you an example, when it's my birthday, I don't go out to a restaurant in Singapore. I send money here so that the children have a party for themselves and enjoy it. Likewise, sharing in celebration means, you share whatever you're celebrating. So if any of you out here who want to share a birthday, a memorial of a late person, you could actually come to the school and spend it there. And everything is very transparent. We give you exactly what we are cooking, the menu, the cost, according to your budget. And the children get a better meal for that day, which they normally don't.
That's lovely. Wow. Anyway, Leela, we don't have much time, but thank you so much for actually gracing us with your presence and actually helping us understand a little bit about this kind of work. And I hope Zambians out there are learning something from you.
Well, I've been inspired by so many people. I guess I hope I'm an inspiration to somebody else out there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much
you for
for
coming.
inviting
All right.
me.
All right. That was Leela actually joining us. I'm Jimmy, and we'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
There are some people that come like the way we've done today. Then you'll find that after advertising, maybe putting it on Facebook, or maybe someone like here CBC, maybe some people would come in and maybe just buy midi meal, maybe 5 bags, then we'll pack them in pre-packed plastics. Maybe we just give it to maybe a few families, 10 or so, so that at least they have a meal. Yes.
All right. So,
they are looking for food. Those children that are peeping.
as we're speaking, there are children outside also seeking food.
Yes, they are. They are.
How does that make you feel every day?
It's really bad. It makes me really feel bad because there are some people who have plenty that they're even able to throw. Then we have some people like these kids who are just able to just peep and not have anything, literally have nothing. Whereby even if you throw this piece of bread, they can scramble for it. Poverty is real in Zambia, and especially here in George. So if we can have a lot of people that can just come out and just help, we just help each other as Zambians, that would be a better place. Yes.
All right, interesting. Now I'm going to ask this lovely lady here who's been serving the children how she feels. Mumvela bwanji ntchito ya msevenza kuwapasa vana vakudya kuvatandiza pano.
Nimvera bwino because nkufunika abana ne bachoka mu different places. Benangu bamayi babo banamwalira, batete babo banamwalira, so basungwa na bazimbuye babo. So if na 97 nimvera bwino kuti bana nibapasana mutima umozi so that bajabana basankarage kuti bakwenyirira. At least ngati nabapasa ko tobwa yamene ina cup na 2 slice ya bread. Bakakuta paja uja mwana amvera bwino ayamikira na mulungu achikonda chaso nane nikondwera kunchito amene sevens. I'm happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a special case of these 2 children, who are the children of Charity Nalungwe, who was our grade 1 teacher. She passed away last year, and I've dedicated this classroom to her, and I'll tell you why. She was an excellent teacher. she had a very difficult upbringing in the farm, and she actually ran away to the convent, lying that she was an orphan, and she wasn't an orphan, just so that the nuns would sponsor her education. With that, she cleared her O-levels, and later she went out to the market in Soweto to sell fruits, to see herself through a diploma in early childhood. And that's when I had hired her here about 9 years ago. And here we were actually sponsoring her for a degree program. While she was doing a degree program, she was a grade 1 teacher. At the same time, she was looking after her 2 sons, her siblings in the village, in the farm. She was putting her siblings through school, and also supporting her parents in the farm. So she was a great mother, a wonderful daughter, and she was supporting, an extended family of at least another 10 or 15 people with the salary that she was earning here. And I felt that the children should grow up feeling proud of such a mother, and that's why I dedicated this classroom to them, and we carry on supporting them. The children are studying here, and we have assured them that as long as this foundation exists, we'll make sure that these 2 children are educated the way the mother would have wanted, because Charity Nalungwe believed a lot in education, and she strived for everything that she had, and I'm sure she'd want the same for her children. So that's how they've also come into the mattress donation drive, and as you can see, this classroom. Yep. What you just saw was what we call silent sitting, which is equivalent to mindfulness, which is spoken about all over the world, which is equivalent to meditation, contemplation, whatever you want to name. You notice the pin drop silence that we're having at school during this time. Every morning.
It's your time now.